Do you think the offense looks different when Tyrese Haliburton is at the helm?
If it does, only slightly so. And I think I've said this multiple times over the course of this season, and really it's been this way since Tyrese first came to the Kings, going back to last season. When Tyrese is in the game, the Kings half-court offense is as good as it can be. When Tyrese is not in the game, the Kings half-court offense goes to absolute you-know-what. Like De'Aaron Fox, we know how speedy he is in transition. We know he's got that patented mid-range jumper that he's knocking down at a high clip. But De'Aaron Fox does not run a good half-court offense, and he has not at any point in his career. When the Kings were at their absolute best at the beginning of that season under Dave Joerger, why were they at their best? Because they were running in transition. What did teams do to adjust that forced the Kings to fall apart in the second half of the season? No, it wasn't just the Iman Shumpert trade, everybody. Teams were forcing the Kings into half-court offensive sets, and the Kings looked completely lost. I remember at the beginning of that season, Dave Joerger was messing around with rotations and messing around with tactics during preseason. And after the final preseason game, I want to say it was James Ham that asked Dave about going a little more advanced in half-court offense, or looking at a little more advanced stuff on in the half-court offense. And Dave Joerger straight up said with a smile, we're not ready for that yet. That's the way I look at this Kings team when Tyrese Haliburton does not run them. They are not ready for anything beyond a high pick and roll and then isolation ball. That's why we see it time and time again, versus when the Kings had their chance at the game winner against Philadelphia. You'll notice it looked very different because the ball went to Tyrese and he looked to move the ball, and they tried to run something on the perimeter. Now, it drives me crazy why they didn't attack the basket, because you're only down by 2, and that can free up a good look from the outside. It just so happened the ball bounced between two of the most unselfish guys in the NBA, in Haliburton and Barnes. No, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it.
Yeah, that was romantic.
At least the ball was moving, versus if that was I'm trying not to dig at De'Aaron Fox here, but if that was Fox's moment, the Kings have 11 seconds, 7 to 8 of them would have been Fox dribbling one-on-one, and then he would have tried to force that mid-range jumper, which most of the time he gets a good look, but it's isolation ball, versus when Tyrese is in the game, the ball moves. The Kings try and run something. So to answer your question, D'Lo, that's the biggest difference that I see with the offense when it's Tyrese's show versus the Tyrese and Fox show.